So when I was in college, we did a production of Much Ado About Nothing, and Shakespeare doesn't have a lot of roles for women, so they were inspired to include the role of Imogen, who only exists in the first folio as a stage direction. She's supposedly Leonardo's wife and Hero's mother. And if you know the play, you'd think she'd say something given that fact, but she doesn't. And Beatrice, who talks a lot, was saying the line. She was comparing Don John and Benedict, and she was saying the line,
"The one is too like an Imogen Says Nothing."
And I heard in my head, Imogen Says Nothing. I had a moment where I, as a silent woman, heard myself being mocked by Beatrice for being a silent woman, and it did something inside me. But then that something that it did inside me just hung out there for many, many years until Yale offered me a commission, and that's when I was like, could I maybe write Imogen a play? They brought me out for this amazing residency here at Yale, and I saw this amazing production of The Winter's Tale that Liz Diamond directed. They had the folios out at the Beinecke, and I spent quality time at the Sterling Library at this one shelf where there was bear baiting information. They had an amazing map exhibit out at the Yale Center for British Art, and that's where I encountered the map of Wiltshire, where there's this town that was called North Berkham, but the original map makers had sort of lost track of the name, and so they'd labeled it Quare.
It's not a name, that Quare. It's a note to itself, a Latin sort of question mark.
But it ended up being mislabeled Quare for 145 years. And so that became a little bit of an obsession. And when I looked into it more, I discovered that the town is now gone. I was like, oh, erasure with consequences. And I started noodling, and I wrote what is still the first monologue of the play. Right then and there.
I watched a bear danced, a muzzled countenance made lovelier by pain, her eyes so dulled with modesty or shame, her dance a lurching, clumsy, tethered thing.
I think what I didn't realize when I set off on the journey is that it would involve really examining for myself what my feelings are and where I live around issues of erasure and contemporary feminism and our art in this world, what art is for in this world.